and welcome back to another episode of Wine and Wisdom. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Wonderful.
Do you want the truth? Do you want the truth?
Always the truth.
My back is a mess. I can't move. So I'm sitting on my right side because my sciatica on the left side is a mess.
Oh.
So, but I'm walking today, which is good.
Sorry to hear that. Glad you're doing a little better.
A little bit.
That's
We had
good.
a date on Friday for
Little better.
Valentine's.
It's better than no better.
Yeah. We had a date on Friday for Valentine's and I could not go because my sister with her boyfriend and Rodney and I was like, babe, I can't even get out of the couch. I was like this close to going to the hospital, this close, but luckily didn't have to go there.
Wow.
But I'm okay now.
But you look amazing. Yeah, I mean, I know you're in pain, but you don't look like.
You know what? My husband, he stepped up. No, he took the kids. He just stepped up. So I'm grateful for that.
All right. High five for Rodney.
Yeah.
High five for sure. I'll drink to him.
Yeah. Just keep taking it easy.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm glad you're better. And no skiing this weekend, please. Just watching.
We have plans to go skiing for my birthday.
Just watching.
Just watch.
And everything.
You will not be skiing.
But I'll just enjoy the bar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Yes, there you go. There you go. And Jessica, we've been talking since we saw you about your gorgeous eyebrows. You have to give a shout out to the girl who hooks you up so beautifully.
Her name is Linda. Live, Love, Brows. She's in Westchester, over at Golden's Bridge. Go see her. Amazing microblading, shading.
It's crazy.
It's
how
beautiful.
Your brows make like the change on your.
Oh, it makes your face.
Yes.
It makes your face. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
She is like an artist on your face.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
making sure your eyebrows. If you go into her Instagram, you see the miracles that she's performed. I mean, people from like no eyebrows to like brows.
That's me. I have very thin eyebrows.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it brightens up your face. She did a very good job.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been 3 years I've gone to her. Thanks to Angie, because Angie was the one that put me onto her.
Shout out to Angie.
Yeah. How often do you have to get it done?
So it depends, sometimes people fade a little sooner than they should, or, in between a year and a half, you go and get it a retouch. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, and, it's uncomfortable, it's painful.
Hey, like our little guest said, beauty is painful.
Beauty is painful.
My tears come out the whole entire time, but
it's kind of like a tattoo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it swell?
No swelling. No.
Swelling.
But if it feels like she's cutting you, like
yeah. Blading. That's why it's called blading.
Yeah. You feel like
it's okay. After you go through a little bit of pain.
Listen, it's 3 years. I keep doing it.
Yes, it can't be that bad.
No,
it can't be like that bad.
A Brazilian.
There you go.
Yep.
That shit hurts.
Chicken.
The episode should be 5 tips on microblading your eyebrows.
Ya me casé, no necesito Brazilian.
Mentiras. Ahora no necesitas más.
Claudia.
I just shave it. That shit hurts.
Oh, no bumps.
I can't.
Yeah. I don't get bumps, luckily. Thank God.
I can't. I actually started using something new. This is totally deviating from anything, but it's the Venus Aloe hair remover, and you just apply it. You leave it on for 2 to 3 minutes, and you just wipe it off.
Down there?
Done deal. Down there. It's for all areas.
Oh.
I'll
But
send you a
only
I
for
never
picture
seen
later.
bikini or the
something.
whole thing?
I do the whole thing.
¿No te
Oh
pica?
my God, we're really talking about this right now.
I
Totally not what we're supposed to be talking about.
It's women
Yes,
stuff.
we
But-
are there.
But that's what makes us unique.
know. Yes, it does. And that's what our
So,
fans love.
Salute to all that.
Yes,
Yes.
to the bareness down there.
Yes.
Suavemente.
So, speaking of fans, before we start, I want to give a shout out to a fan who emailed our email at winewisdom2020@gmail.com. And let me just look it up really quick. Her name is Susan Williams. So she sent us an email in reference to our episode from last week, dating, right? Dating in your 40s. Has it changed? Has it not changed? And maybe next week, or maybe we can have her on the show. I don't know. I have to reach out to her, but she sent a very detailed email about an experience that she had with a coworker that sent her a special pic.
Wow.
Goodness.
And he
That's some
actually,
balls.
well,
No pun
it-
intended.
well,
Saberlo en el trabajo.
actually, she sent me the pic with the balls too. And
Wow.
I gotta give her a shout out because he sent this pic to all of her coworkers, and he was like, it's a 10-incher and all this stuff. Yes, in the pic, the prize, which he thought it was a prize, is his pic with a ruler next to it, and it's only 5 little inches.
Ay, bendito.
So he didn't pass 3rd grade math.
Mm,
Okay.
no.
So
You
it was
learn
an amazing
inches.
email. It was hysterical. And Susan, thank you for listening. She says she's a huge fan. And I will be reaching out to you because I think we want to hear more about this whole experience.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Yes, thank you for reaching out.
Thank you.
I had a very good laugh with the email. So it brings us into our topic today. That should be one tip. It's not a way to reel a woman in. If you think that's a good way of grabbing her attention and trying to keep her attention.
At least nothing solid, right?
Right, nothing
nothing that's
serious.
to build
Right.
something for the future, or something
Right.
solid, or something good.
Right.
Right.
For
You
pastime, absolutely, it's great. It's a lot of fun, but that's all it
Right.
is.
Right. And that's exactly what it is. So we will be right back with our 5 tips on starting a new relationship.
Hey y'all, welcome back. So here we are with the Pero Porque Why. You know, we want to talk about some tips, and some tips that are given to each other. It's not always the making any sense. Sometimes you're like, but why? Like last time I talked about somebody telling me, oh, you know, at some point you have to settle. And I was like, Pero Porque Why? Not me. You know what I
Right.
mean? So what are 5 tips that we can give out to our people?
I think a good tip that I usually tell people is when you're starting a new relationship, I think it would be good to do your best to really get to know each other, right? Get to know and not just like your non-negotiables or like what we spoke about last week, but getting to know each other on the way, you know, you have fun with each other. Enjoy the beginning of your relationship before you're starting to jump into something so serious. You know, does that make sense? Because sometimes people just right away jump into wanting to something serious, and you never really get to know the person for what their likes and their dislikes. You know, sometimes it's
I
just
agree
not
100%.
right. It's not always just about your values and, you know, your spiritual aspects. It's also like just little things, you know. Does he like button downs? Does he like pullovers? Right? Does he like sneakers? Does he like loafers? You know, just little things like that. You know, and sometimes those little things make the other person appreciate you because you're taking notice and putting attention to detail into those little things. I love little things like that.
I also would say
I
is
think,
paying attention to the actual present and not bringing up the past,
Mm-hmm.
not talking about your ex all the time, right? Not comparing. I think that's so important. Being attracted to the actual person for who the person is, not what you think you're going to get out of this relationship or what you want this person to be. I think that's like key in anything. Um, because sometimes we get caught up in the past or what I want out of this person, but we're not paying attention to what's at the moment, what you actually have, what's really going on. And I think that's so, important. And having those sex conversations, because that's also like really important in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's everything, but it's important. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big part of a relationship, intimacy, right? Like we spoke in previous episodes. So that I think is also something important when you're starting a new relationship to talk about. Again, not that it's everything, not that, as soon as we start, so let's get in bed. No, it's not that, but you need
That
to
was
talk
sexy,
about,
Right, that
yes,
was
yes,
sexy, Gloria.
right?
yes, but it's, but it's, getting to know each other's likes and dislikes. What makes me tickle? What doesn't make me tickle? What's going to put the smile on the face? What's not going to put the smile on the face?
Mm-hmm.
it's funny.
Getting to know each other, really,
Yeah.
like you said, getting to even is as simple as getting to know each other's friends, a circle, right? Immediate
Mm-hmm.
circle. If you don't fit in, man, there's a problem. There's a
It's
problem. Like a
true.
tight circle like us that is, 20 something years plus, like if you ain't vibing, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
think it's
I
also really important
funny
to
because
be yourself. Like it's important to
Yes,
be you.
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
don't try to change who you are to please them or,
Salute to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Please
I
salute to that.
think
So many people try to be who they're not.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And then you become resentful as time goes on
Yes.
because geez, who the hell? What was I trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's important to always be true to yourself and at some point somebody would accept you just the way you are.
Absolutely.
And I think those are the
I
Absolutely.
best
think
type of
I
relationships.
watch my sister. I don't know if you guys hear me, but
Yes.
my sister's 25 and she's in the dating scene, and I've told her it's not that complicated. When it fits and it's meant, it shouldn't be that complicated. You go out, you have a good time, you have a good conversation, and things kind of go with the flow sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When it's so arguing and oh my god this, it's just like no, it shouldn't be that complicated. And as you get to know each other, being yourself, getting to know, having those communication, talking, paying attention to the person face to face, right?
Yes.
Not pretend,
Yes.
face to face. It
Yes.
shouldn't be that complicated. And sometimes
Right.
I went with her experiences. I'm like, this is too complicated. It's
Mhm.
not going to work. Like, it should not be that complicated. And I remember just with my husband, we hit it off and we just had a grand old time. We were just partying, hanging, talking, laughing, and just being yourself.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's able to fit into my world
Yeah.
with your friends. All of that's
Mhm.
important because in the past, other boyfriends, had a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
All those little things matter. So
And you know what? Those are red flags. And we tend to see the red flags and make believe we didn't see them or push them to the
Mhm.
side. Like, oh no, it's just different. Oh no, it's gonna be different. Bullshit. Red flags is not fake. They exist. They're real.
and
Pay
Yes.
attention to
something
them.
I had to
For a
learn,
reason, they're red
like
flags.
like I had to learn that dancing was very big for me. Like
There
I
you
had
go.
Yes.
There you go.
who
That's an
Yes.
didn't,
important
I
piece
love
for
to
you.
dance. And it
Yes.
was a problem when we go out, I would be like, because they didn't go with my
Right.
flow.
Right.
And then I ended up
That's
not
really
going out
important.
with people. Like
Right.
I
Right.
would be like, yeah, I'm going
Right.
out with my friends.
Right.
Rod kept up with me. We're like, oh, like it was important to me. I didn't realize that because in the
Mhm.
past, it's okay, but it was not okay.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, because you end up leaving them sitting down at the table because
Right.
I'll be right back.
And then it's like, what's the
Right.
purpose to be with this person if you can't enjoy what you enjoy so much with this
Yeah.
person?
Right.
Yes.
If
I
you're gonna
do
be
that
dancing
all
with
the time.
Pedro, Juan, and Paul that are at the party instead of the man you got there with, what's the purpose to be there with them? Déjalo en la
Listen,
casa.
I've known.
Déjalo en la
I've remembered us being at parties and we end up dancing with each other and our
With each other
boyfriends
all the
see us
time.
dancing.
All the
Yeah.
time. All of us girls dancing together on the dance floor.
Yep.
In all kind of parties, right?
Shit.
Yeah.
Or
that
it's
still
a
happens.
problem. No,
That
it's
still
a
happens.
problem.
It still happens.
It's a problem when you start looking for other people to dance with.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
I
that
wanna dance with
person.
that
Right.
But not my men.
Yep.
It's true.
Like I always
And
like
then
to
you
say,
ask-
I dance
then
all
you
the men
ask-
and all the women.
Then you ask your man, you're like, is it okay?
Uh-huh.
Just one dance. I'll be right back. Just one
Right,
dance.
right. But
And
one
they're like,
becomes
yeah, I
five.
mean, what are they gonna say? You know, at that
Oh
point,
my
like,
God.
And
I
then
had
the
a-
mix doesn't end, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
oh, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Gonna keep going.
Yo, I had
Sí,
that
por ahí.
experience once. I went out and y era un viejo. I mean, he wasn't even good looking, but yo, he could dance the salsa.
There you go.
But you know what? I was like,
Ask Francis, when we go dancing, who do I dance with? All the viejos.
yeah.
all the
Why?
viejos.
Because
They
those are
got
the ones
their-
that can
they got-
dance.
They know how to dance. You
Especially
know?
when it
They
comes
know
to
how to dance
salsa.
that old school
When it
salsa.
comes to salsa,
Ah, no, eso
Hands down.
rico,
Hands down.
rico. But I went,
Tell you, the guy-
I went dancing with I went out to a club, not a club, it was a lounge, there was a live
Right.
performer.
Right,
And
right.
I went with somebody, and yo, by the end of the night, that motherfucker was pissed. He was like, the fuck?
Aprenda.
I had that dance.
Learn to dance.
No,
And
it's
that's
a
the other
problem.
thing. That's
These
the other
men
thing.
don't dance. They
Like,
think
why don't you want to learn? Let's go take salsa
Right,
lessons. That's so
right.
fun.
Don't
Let's
worry about
learn.
other people. Don't worry about who's looking. Who cares?
Yes.
no.
You know,
Yeah.
that
There's a
moment is
generation,
between you and me. Like, you know,
but there's a
Yep.
generation of men who
That
can't
don't dance.
because they,
Yeah.
I don't know,
They don't
Yeah,
dance.
I don't
They
know.
stand
they
around.
think they're too cool. And
Right. If
retarded.
you go
I don't
out
know.
now, Claudia, that's all men do. They just stand around. And it's like,
I don't
pero
know.
¿qué pasó? Si usted me quedo en la casa and I'll dance with the broom and the mop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter's 18, and when she goes out to a gathering, a party, or something, she can't stand it. She's like, these boys
Because
don't
there's
know
no
how to,
dancing.
they don't dance anything. Like,
Nobody's dancing.
No.
yeah.
Crazy.
No,
Nobody's
they're
dancing.
dancing. They're standing in a group holding up the wall, you know, with each other, watching the women dance.
That's
And you're like,
whack.
there's nothing more sexier than you can see a guy that knows how
Oh.
to dance. You're
Yes.
gonna see a line of girls waiting, be like, when she's done, can I have,
Yes.
you know?
So true. So true.
That's definitely a tip. Like, if you like to do certain things, whether it's
Make sure that
hiking,
person likes it too.
biking, dancing,
Well, at least a little bit. At least a little
Even
bit.
going to the gym, working out.
Yes.
Like, yo,
you know,
it's
something
so
that at
awesome.
least a
If you like
mutual
movies, make sure that person likes movies. If you like
Right.
reading, make sure that person likes reading. If you like walking, make sure that person likes walking. Like, it's such
Yeah.
little things that do
Yeah.
matter. And
It
people think
does.
they don't, but they do, man.
And I
They
do know that
really
people
do.
say opposites attract, and that's true.
Right.
Opposites
Because
do
there's
some
supposed to
type
be a
of
balance.
right.
Right.
Opposites sometimes do attract.
But
But-
not opposite over there in freaking the equator. Like,
No.
aquí.
Right. Right. We got to meet somewhere. We got to meet
Right.
somewhere. Like me,
know-
my thing is family time, right? I'm big on the family time. I'm all about my family, all my family, my cousins, my aunts, my
Mhm.
uncles, everybody. That's what I'm about. So whoever's in my life has to be about family. Because if you can't hang with my crazy ass family, bro, you gotta go.
Yeah.
'Cause we all crazy. There's not one
Right.
sane one in the family. So
Yeah.
It's true.
You know what I've
we
learned?
do everything together.
This is something I've learned, that as much as there are things we like to do together, to respect the things that you don't like to do together.
Yes.
Right. You
and,
gotta have that time apart.
and it's okay because, like,
Yes.
for example, Rodney is a biker. He likes to bike,
Right.
and I got my bike, and I was like, but I'm not gonna bike like 50 miles.
Right. Exactly.
Like that's
that's
what you
fine.
go do with your boys, whoever.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but in the beginning, it would annoy me because he's
Yeah.
out all day, and I'm like, but at the end of the day, it's like, yo, it's okay. Go do that. But there are things that we like together,
Right.
things that he doesn't do with me, things
Right.
that I don't do with him. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's a healthy relationship. You
It
got to be
is.
able to have time apart from each other so
Yeah.
you
let
can
that
keep
happen.
growing as individuals as
Yeah.
well. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
important.
I mean, because we can't forget, like, okay, you get into a relationship and you're supposed to blend. But I'm a person, I like to blend, but I also want to be me. I want to have my space,
My
my
time.
things, my
Right.
time.
Right.
And,
Yep.
people frown on that because they're
Yeah.
like, it's not about you. You got to be thoughtful about someone else, your partner, whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be thoughtful. Like, you know, I like my stuff. And I don't think I need to give it up.
And you shouldn't have to. You
We
shouldn't
shouldn't
have
have
to.
to.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to.
Some women like us, we're set in our ways.
Yeah.
And we like our freedom, right? Our space, our
Yes.
come and go, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong with it. You said something before that triggered. Like so far we've said laughter, right, Claudia? You
Yes.
said laughter is, I think that's a great tip. If you can laugh with your partner, that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica, you said not losing yourself, and Gloria, like, it's part of compromising, right? What
Right.
you want to give and what you don't want to give. But
Right.
Jessica, you said something that triggered, because one time Ralphie and I were having actually lunch at work, and there's a preacher that works with us in the company, and he gives marriage counseling, right? So we were asking him, like, what changes, like, so quick, and he gave us the answer that left everybody at the table who's married. We were like, he's like, what happens is, in the beginning, you're courting each other, right?
Right.
So you're doing things that aren't normally who you are. So you're
Then you get
changing
comfortable.
yourself. You're changing yourself in the beginning to adhere to this person because you want to grab their attention, and you want to be part of their life and everything.
Yeah.
So now in the beginning, you become a different person because you want to make it work with this person. You each become a little bit of a different person. Now that you're married and you're
get comfortable.
deeper into the relationship, now you want to be your old person again because you're tired of being that person you never really were.
It's wrong.
Right? So I'm like, I never really thought of it that way. And he's like, think about it. He's like, I'm sure there's things that you did when you guys first started dating that you don't want to do now because it was never really your interest. You were just doing it because you wanted to, make that person happy, or you just were trying to, like, be compromisable with that person, but it's not something that you really like to do. Like going on a 50-mile bike ride with Rodney. Rodney just likes to go from Queens to Westchester.
Yeah. No, that's why I feel it's important to stick by yourself, be yourself.
Yeah.
Even if
for me, like, let me try something. Like, I'll try it. I'm not gonna say
of course.
I'll try it, but then I'm like, I'll do it up to this point, and I'm like, but that to me is a little too much. Like, I'm not, and then plus we have kids.
Fine.
We have kids, so now you got to go at 7 a.m. I'm not doing all that. It's too complicated. But go enjoy, and he enjoys it and he loves it, and I like that he loves it.
And that gives you some me time too, and you like your me time.
Right.
And trying is the best thing ever because you never know if you're gonna like it.
Right.
And now you're creating something together. You know what I mean?
That you guys can have in common.
Like
Absolutely.
skiing. I had never done skiing, but when we used to go on the ski trips, right? I never made it to the slopes, but
no, we didn't.
We went.
No, we didn't.
And I loved it. I bought my own skis, and like now I have my gear, and we go. And I've been going a lot this year, but that's something that I started liking because I tried it. He introduced me to it.
Right. And you guys do it as a whole family. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is awesome.
Is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, there's always. I mean, I'm not saying I'm stuck here in my ways. I'm willing to grow and learn and explore. But
it doesn't mean you're going to give up all of what you are or who you are to please this other person, because that's not what a relationship is.
Someone doesn't like
my
to work
personality.
Out, but you do.
Right.
You're not going to stop that,
Because, people tend to think that a relationship is 50-50, and it's not. A relationship is 100-100. In order for it to work, both people got to want it. Both people got to be willing to sacrifice, to compromise, to want to grow together, to want to build together, to want to have something together.
Right.
That's the only way relationships work. Whether it's you know, relationship with a partner, whether it's a relationship with a family, whether it's a relationship with your kids, whether it's a relationship at work, whether it's a relationship with your friends, whatever type of relationship, in order for them to work, everyone involved has to want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
I
put in
agree.
the same amount of effort.
Right.
Mhm.
Simple. Simple
Yeah.
as that.
And I
And I
don't
think-
believe I don't believe in the word. I feel like when you're going to start to feel like you're sacrificing,
Right.
that is negative to me.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling.
I will compromise,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I won't sacrifice.
Yes.
Because no.
I think
won't.
that's when you start losing yourself, when you start sacrificing.
Yeah.
You get resentful.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get resentful.
Right.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, a friend of mine, who's older than me, we became good friends. She had kids before me, and then she's like, you know, she's like, don't do so much like for a man, you know, because we have a tendency to spoil.
To be
Yeah.
mothers.
Oh
To
my
be
God, I'll
mothers.
cook for you all the time. But then when you have children, you have to do that, and then
Yep.
the stuff with the kids,
Mhm.
Mhm.
it's like too much. It's like you have to kind of let them do things, even with the kids. Like let them change the way they do it. Let
Yep.
them take care of the kids the way they want to take care of it.
Mhm.
Don't get
Yep.
so crazy, or else they won't.
Right.
And that was like the best advice, you know, for me, that like stood with me. I'm like, you know what, he wants to do it, like
Yeah.
do it, because
Let him do it his way.
right, the baby's not, he's not gonna hurt the baby. He's
Exactly. That's his
his
kid.
way. It's his kid. You know, like, and then you're good, you know.
You know what's funny? That even goes to like with kids, right? Like when you're teaching your kids to have chores in the house and you know they're doing it fucked up, right? Like you're telling them to, I don't know, dust, or you're telling them to do the dishes, or you're telling them to sweep or whatever, or fix their bed. As simple as fix their bed. And they do it wrong. Fucking tell them it's wrong. Tell them they did a great job.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you go and do what you want to do.
Right.
Because the minute you start telling them it's wrong, guess what? You're not
You
gonna
just
fucking do
discourage
it.
them.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
discourage them.
And listen, at least it's halfway done.
Yeah.
And trust me, when they need to do it right, they will do it right.
Right.
They won't make you look
Mhm.
bad.
Right.
It's true. It's true. What do
As
you
they
guys
get
think?
older, you will see that it's stuck. They got it.
What do you guys think about understanding yourself, like emotionally and sexually
That's
And-
important.
in a new relationship? Because a lot of people get into them and they don't really understand themselves first
Right.
to try to understand someone else in that aspect.
Right. Which is basically, like I said, having that sex talk, right? So
Mhm.
it's again knowing what you want or what you like and learning what that partner likes or wants.
Mhm.
And like you said, it's an emotional thing as well. So that's why you
You know,
have
that's
to be,
hard.
open to
I
have these
feel-
conversations.
I feel like I didn't realize I had issues until I was with my husband, because I had issues with serving him first. Like I'm like, why? Like I didn't know,
Right.
it didn't come naturally. And then one day he's like, why? And I said, why? Like, you know, I grew up in a home where my father was abusive to my mother,
Right.
but she served him the best plate, the first meal on the table. And I'm like, this motherfucker don't deserve it. Like, why?
Right.
Like that was like in my head, like I couldn't comprehend
Mhm.
it. Right. So in my relationships, I always kind of had the upper hand. I can't explain it. Maybe friend, like I was always like, I don't know. But
It
like,
wasn't that you weren't serviceable to your boyfriends. You weren't super catering, right? You always
I'm like my mom.
Right.
Right.
You didn't want
you
to be your mom.
you never wanted to
No.
continue that cycle because
Right.
you had that daddy issue, but you didn't realize you had that daddy
I
issue.
didn't realize it. And then one time he's like, but you're punishing me
For your
something
dad's doing.
dad did. And I'm
Right.
like, you're
Yep.
right. Like, you're right. Like, I'm sorry. And it's not that I didn't want to,
Mhm.
but in my mind, I was like, why can't you serve me? Like, you know, we're in the 2000s. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
But does he?
why? He does, but now it's more. He's like, babe. He'll tell me, babe, don't worry about it. I'll serve myself.
Right.
Because but it took a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
to have, and then we talked about it, and and I'm like, you know what, you're right, and I had to apologize because I wasn't doing it intentionally, but it was just like, I guess, these little demons that you have,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
and
great that you said you guys had a conversation, because that's also, I think, really important in relationships, especially the world we're in today. Everybody wants to text about everything.
right.
That shit ain't the right way to communicate. You
No.
got something to say to me, don't call me, don't text me. Let's meet up face to face and let's
Mm-hmm.
talk cara a cara. I want to see in your face, and I want you to see my face when we got something to say to each other. That's
Because
important.
it was something that
That's
was hurting him.
valuable.
I think I was
Right.
hurting him, and I didn't do it intentional, and I had to listen. That was like a moment of
Yeah.
like a aha moment, like, wow, you're right, and I apologize, and now I do without a problem. It comes
Of course.
differently, but it was sometimes you don't know you have issues or emotional things until you're
Right.
with someone, but
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
the way you guys communicate that dictates the growth of it,
Right.
Right.
like you surpass it, you know so I don't know.
And
Like
that's
my biggest
relatable.
issue. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Even
I was gonna
said,
say that's relatable because we're like that midway generation, right? When we grew up a little bit old school, but then now we also had that modern take on it, like be independent, make your own money, make sure you have a career, tú no tienes que estar sirviéndole a los hombres, whatever, like travel, live your life. And so it's different because our moms were the opposite, right? Like they were the stay-at-home moms, and the man went out and worked, and they gave them the money to do their hair and their nails and buy the curtains and all that stuff. And we're in that transitional phase where we're independent. We don't need your money to do that. So at the time, like me growing up, I'm like, my father was the bread maker. So yes, my mother, in my mind, my mother was supposed to serve him and wash his clothes and take care of him because you were home all day, right? It wasn't until I got older that I was just like, being a housewife is hard work. Like, I'm tired too when you
It's
get
the
home.
biggest job.
Being a mother of three and cooking and cleaning and keeping the house, together or whatever. I think women should get a paycheck for that in itself because it's not easy. So I can relate to that, and because I had that issue too in the beginning. I'm like, I'm working too, but then you want me to come home and cook and clean and do all that stuff, and you're laying down watching TV, right? But but he deserves that certain type of treatment because he's a good provider, and he does it vice versa. He reciprocates it.
right,
As opposed to my father, he didn't reciprocate it. It was just,
Right.
I'm the man of the house. You got to take care of me back
I
then.
remember when, like, my mom didn't know how to drive, so she would depend on my dad,
Right.
and if he didn't want to go, she couldn't go out nowhere. And it was like such a and I helped her get her license. Like, I helped her get it, and she was like
Mhm.
almost 40, and she was like, I'm like, you gotta get it, because it's gonna free you.
Liberating.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
liberate you because you don't have to depend on anybody. And one day, and she got it with my stepdad, and my stepdad was great, but sometimes, like, he didn't want to go, and she would get so mad, and I'm like, Mom, learn.
Yeah.
And then one time he said no. He's like, yo me llevo el carro. She showed him. He said, oh, and like, go, Mom. And it's like little things
Mhm.
like that will say, like, will liberate you, and they're like
Yeah.
so
Like
empowering.
it's like bra burning.
But with my dad, it was like, I remember, like, he didn't go, nope, and
Mhm.
he could care less. It was like so horrible. And so I couldn't understand that, like, serve him first. Da, 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 da. Like,
Yeah. It's funny. When I first started dating Felix and I went to a family party, I don't remember. I think I go to Gloria after this happened. One of his family members, I was serving him, and one of his family members came up to me and she was like, "That's good, mamita. That's good that you're learning how to serve him now. That's good. You should serve him now. That's good." And I actually, Angie was standing next to me, and she was like, And I was like, what do you mean I have to learn how to serve him now? I said, I choose to serve him the way he serves me Sunday morning's breakfast, right? I said, I don't have to serve him. I choose to serve him. You know, I wanted to fling the hamburger, but because we were in a freaking family barbecue, I didn't. So it's like, it's crazy how they still have that old school mentality. Like,
Yes.
you know, I don't mind doing it for you because he cooks breakfast and he serves it too. But it shouldn't be an expectation. It shouldn't be a rule, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I
Because
think
just
that's
like we could serve them, they could serve us.
absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
it's
Even
not
if
that
the eggs are
era.
burnt and the bacon is burnt, eat around the edges is the fact that he made the effort to do it.
Exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Exactly.
Now we just, you know, it's now we're in households where people are working.
Right.
Everybody needs to
It's different.
everybody needs to collaborate, even the kids. Like
Yes.
everyone has
Yes.
to, you know,
Yeah.
do their part for things to work. And it's the reality now, you know, and
Mhm.
just need to understand that.
You know, and you mentioned the kids, and it's so true. Like a lot of times I was looked upon like, oh my God, you give those kids too much responsibility, or you make those kids do too much. No, because if something happens to me and I'm gone, then what happens to my kids? They can't do for themselves. So I'm very proud to say always, yes, my kids know how to cook. Yes, my kids know how to clean. Yes, my kids know how to do laundry. Yes, my kids could survive. If I wind up in a bed, they're going to be okay.
Mhm.
You know, because that was always my fear as a single mom. Like,
Right.
okay, God forbid something happens to me. What happens to my kids? How are they going to survive? You know, so they've always had chores since they were little. Like, you know, like I said earlier, even if they did it wrong, I let them do it because
Right.
I wanted them to be able to survive if something happened to me.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be able that if they had to be on their own, they could be okay. They didn't have to depend on anyone. They didn't have to wait for someone else to do things for them. You know, it's as simple as the license. I'm the first and only person in my household with a fucking license. My father never drove. My mother never drove. My sister never drove. I'm the first and only. So I made sure both of my kids learn to drive. Like, no, you guys need to learn to drive. Like, it's important.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like freeing yourself, right? It's giving yourself that freedom of doing or getting where you have to get to.
An
Um, and
opportunity.
and it's just so many things, you know, just valuing, right? Giving the kids that responsibility. Yeah, they're kids, but at the same time, you can give them little chores, you know, like still
Gonna
today,
be
and they're
adults,
grown, right?
for
Even
goodness
today,
sake.
and they're grown, is like, you know, one has Monday, one has Tuesday, one, and then I have Wednesdays to do dishes. Then the one that had Monday has Thursdays, and the one that had Tuesdays has Fridays.
Yeah.
And that's the way it rolls. One weekend, one goes with me to do laundry. The next weekend, the other one goes with me to do laundry. One weekend, one
Right.
goes with me to do groceries. The next weekend, the other one goes with me. Because that way, again, something happens to me, they know how to do groceries, they know how to do laundry, they can defend themselves.
Mhm.
They're gonna be all right. God forbid God calls me tomorrow, I know my boys are good.
And you know, it's good that you do that because like there's the misconception that the women are supposed to
Right.
always do that,
No.
right? But that you're just teaching them how to appreciate the woman's hustle of the household
Absolutely. And be able
and
to survive.
and teaching me also about balance in relationship. Like if
Absolutely.
I'm home with the kids and I can't go to the grocery store, you know how to do grocery, you know how to pick out an avocado.
Yeah.
How to get
You
the
know?
right meat, how to get the vegetables,
Yes.
how to check out the prices.
Mhm. It's true. It
So
may
going
seem
back,
silly.
These are
going
really
back
good tips.
Yes.
to
That's all
right?
It's just reality. It's just
Is
life.
reality.
It's reality.
It
You know,
is. It is
there's this
reality.
conception of the younger generation not being able to even make a fucking egg or a toast without burning it. You know, of, oh no, they're too young or they're just studying. So what? I fucking went to
Yeah,
school.
but
I worked. And I still had chores. My mother still got my ass up every day to do whatever I had to do, to iron clothes, to wash clothes, to go to the supermarket, whatever it was. I didn't die.
Mhm.
So why are
well,
these
you
kids
know,
gonna die?
They're
well,
benefiting.
You're
some
making these
people.
kids weak.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
parenting. The different kinds of
Right.
parenting
Right.
that people give to their children.
Right.
But I think we talked about a lot of good points and tips on how to develop like these relationships, not only with a partner, but with a
Right.
friend, family.
Yes.
And I think that we should
Our
stick to
children.
those tips. And
Yes.
guys, if there's any tips
Absolutely.
that anybody wants to like, share with us, please do. I would love to learn more tips because it's a learning process.
We'll be right back with some of Claudia's actual fantastic finds.
Hi, everybody. So I know I usually talk about fitness and makeup and hair, but I got really excited because I went shopping for the first time in a while and I found some really good deals. So I went to Ann Taylor. I thought of Jessica. They had such fabulous sweaters the other day. And I'm like, I need some sweaters. So I went to Ann Taylor and I got myself about literally like 5 sweaters. $15. $15. So this is like a nice little big turtleneck that goes down. I got like this, how would you call this? Like little flakes, like so this is long, covers the booty, but it's really just comfortable, really cute. I got a white one because I saw these girls with like white sweaters. So cute. All $15. So I spent like $80 for these 5 sweaters and they're like 35, 40, some stripes here. So cute. So cute. And I was really excited. And then this sweater dress, 20, this was 35. My sister bought it way before when it was not on sale. And I got this for $15. So these were my fantastic finds. Very exciting. So thank you, Jessica. Let me know if you find any cool, fantastic finds. They're super cool. Hi, everybody. So what did you guys think about my sweaters? My fantastic finds.
My favorite was that sweater dress, but you got to be clear. Was that Ann Taylor or Ann Taylor Loft?
No, Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor, no loft.
I love that
Love it.
dress.
I love
it. Love it.
With some nice
So-
high brown boots, that's gonna be so cute.
Yes.
You couldn't even wear that with a pair of nice pumps.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly
Yes.
what I was
Word.
thinking. I was like, with some pumps, you could wear
Show
that.
off those calves.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the cream sweater.
With my
You know, I love that
sciatica,
cream
I'm
white.
wearing-
Yes.
No, I
Claudia.
thought of you with the white.
Yes, I love the cream
I love
white.
that.
Loved it.
So comfortable.
I love it.
So beautiful.
You've been infatuated with that white sweater since Gloria wore it.
I'm like, I need to get myself some.
You did good.
I even
You
love
did
whatever you're
good.
wearing today. That's a beautiful
Yes.
color on
What
you.
is that? That's like
I
a
like
tie
that.
sweater.
Amazon. It's like a little tie.
That's really pretty.
That's
I
cute.
like that. That's really
Cute,
nice.
comfortable, you
Very
know.
nice.
Very
Trying
cute.
here.
Very
Very
cute.
nice.
You should do a makeup segment for that sweater dress. Like
Oh, yes.
that would be a
Okay.
cute segment.
And the
A
hair.
very cute segment. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We'll do.
I loved it. Good job. Good job. Jessica, you're rubbing off on everybody.
I know. Doesn't it feel good to go out there and
It
like
does, it
get
does.
yourself some cute stuff at a good price? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Come
Absolutely.
on.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Rodney's
Yes.
like, why are you
Definitely.
shopping? I'm like, it's my birthday. It's my birthday.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Yes.
You deserve it. We'll be right back with our final remarks.
Back, everybody. So what did you guys think about our episode today about the 5 tips or tips on relationships with not only your partner, your children, your friends? Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. And we hope that it was helpful to you. These tips have helped us in our lives. And we're just sharing our knowledge and our wisdom with a little bit of wine.
I think we went over some good tips. I think, there was some things that, I didn't think about it. When I first got married, like the daddy issue, I didn't realize just like you that I had a daddy issue. So that's a good tip. Try not to compare your past relationship or your parents' relationship with the relationship that you're in now.
Mhm.
Right? What do you think, Gloria?
I think we covered so many good things today on this episode. I have great tips from all of us, amazing things. I think helpful. I think it's going to be a good episode for a lot of people. I think many people will be able to relate with us and what we talked about, what we touched on. you know, everything from kids to friends to, you know, partner relationships to whatever the case may be. I think it was great. What about you, Jess?
I'm gonna stay true to myself. That's what I'm gonna be doing. But no, I think it was a great
Yeah, Mama.
episode. We shared a lot of information with each other. And I hope it is helpful for everybody.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, make everybody think about things differently, and be open to different, I don't know, views, you know.
Yes.
But thank you for watching
And
our
also,
show.
yeah.
You want to add something else, Claudia?
No, I also just wanted to say, like, sometimes we have to remind ourselves to do the things we love to do. You
Mhm.
know, like in life, sometimes, like now with my third child, I'm like, blah, you know, my life is a little upside down, but like to get back to the things I like to do, you know, sometimes it's so easy for the men to just do it, you know, and from my experience, like going, oh, he can go out and I'm like home, but I'm tired and that's okay. But remembering that to start doing the things that I love to do again for my own mental health,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, for your own
That's good.
self-care.
Yep.
Yes.
Your me time, as I like to call it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes,
self-care.
Yes.
I'm a believer in self-care. I had
That's
to learn
right.
that the hard way
you
without
are.
feeling guilty,
Right.
Mhm.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
So thank you guys for watching our show. Please tune in next week. Okay.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and now you can tune in and listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts at Wine and Wisdom 5.
And don't forget, take a little minute to share some wisdom and sip some wine.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Fun.